Hi, are you wondering if you should get the HPV shots for your child? Well, let me give you a little bit of insight. I'm Dr. Patty Barch. I'm a traditional naturopath and owner of Naturally Unbridled Wellness, a holistic therapy center in Onalaska, Wisconsin. The information presented here is for educational purposes only and is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prescribe for any disease or condition. Please consult your preferred healthcare provider, major media outlet, or elected officials when making wellness choices. Okay, so let's talk about the human papillomavirus, cervical cancer, and some of the things that people should be aware of when making these types of decisions. So first of all, HPV is human papillomavirus, and the shots are known or the brand name for the shots is Gardasil. And the shot's been out for a few decades now, I think at least a couple decades. They were running out of patent a few years back, so they reformulated, added a few more strains, and got a new patent so they can continue to make top dollar on their invention. So the series of shots for the human papillomavirus is a series of 3 injections. And prior to the current highly talked about, can't talk about it on social media, shots, prior to those shots, the new ones hitting the market here in the past couple of years, prior to that, the ones with the most reports of things going wrong, people being injured or dying from them, the one with the most reports was the HPV series. So that's where most of the claims on the reporting system that were being filed, most of them were related to the HPV series. So that's important to know. There are a lot of problems. The Children's Health Defense Fund, it's an organization, nonprofit organization run by Robert Kennedy Jr. They support a lot of legal cases for people who were injured by the series of these shots. So anyway, human papillomavirus is a sexually transmitted virus that can be associated with an increased risk of cervical cancer. Cervical cancer only occurs in females because females have a cervix. Men do not have a cervix. It's easily detected with a pap smear, and when caught early, easily treated. There's a lot of fear mongering that goes on from the medical side of things. I have a friend who had a conversation with her daughter about the HPV shots, and she and her daughter had the conversation about the daughter intended to remain celibate until she got married. So she figured, well, when the time comes that she's going to be exposing herself to anything that could be sexually transmitted, that at that time she could make the decision about if she wanted to get those shots or not, since the virus is sexually transmitted. So she and her mother were in agreement that they would just wait because she wasn't at risk if she wasn't sexually active. So they go to the doctor and they have that conversation with the doctor. And what does the doctor say? What if she gets raped? This is fear mongering. So they got the shots, and it's like, what if she gets raped? And what if she gets raped by someone who has HPV? I mean, wow. Okay. So, there's definitely the risk that happens with, in short term from the instant exposure. So people that have, I have to be careful of the words that I say, but people who have bad things happen shortly after the shots, that's a risk as well. But there's also a pattern that is easily seen that you should be aware of. And so this is the pattern that I've seen in my practice and other practitioners have seen as well. And even a friend of mine who is involved in the public health department at a local university, she's expressed to me that she has seen the same pattern. And the pattern is, in middle school, the daughter gets the shots. In high school, her periods are so bad and incapacitating that she gets put on birth control. When I was a high school teacher, I actually had 2 students who were put into chemical menopause, high school girls put into chemical menopause because their periods were so bad. So it goes shots, bad periods, birth control. By college, their hormones are so messed up from the birth control that they are then put on antidepressant or anti-anxiety medication. So then by the time they graduate college, they're on at least 2 drugs, 2 prescriptions, right? Birth control and anti-anxiety or antidepressants. And then, fast forward a few years, then they're having fertility issues. These shots are associated with something called premature ovarian failure, which I've seen a few cases of teenage girls, healthy, fit teenage girls, not anorexic, no other reason for them to not be cycling, and they don't get a period. And every one of the cases that I've had for girls who are not cycling, who should be, they've all had those shots. When they come in and they tell me they have excruciating periods, they miss school, they throw up, they might develop endometriosis, polycystic ovary disease, they've had those shots. So I think it's just important to make informed decisions, but a lot of the information that you get from the doctor's office is all fear-based. I also can tell you that I have talked to many women who have received those shots and still gotten cervical cancer. So it's not a big force field. It's not necessarily going to prevent the thing that it is supposed to prevent. So anyway, I know right now there's a lot of kids getting ready to go back to school and they're having their back to school physicals. And so this conversation is happening in a lot of doctors' offices. So I just wanted to share another perspective so that you can make an educated decision about what's best for your child. So that being said, I'll just add that they're also now giving this vaccine. Ooh, I said the V word. They're giving this series to boys as well. And as I mentioned, boys do not have a cervix, so they are not at risk of cervical cancer. So it is, about the same as giving girls some kind of shot for prostate cancer. Like, they don't have a prostate, they're not at risk for cancer. So the philosophy is that these boys could somehow transmit this virus to their partner and give their partner cancer. So you're doing a good thing by having your son get vaccinated for this. Dang, I said that word again. Anyway, I don't have children, but if I did, I would not be giving them this series. So I hope this information is helpful for you. You can leave a comment below, pass this video along to anyone who might be interested. And if you're following us on YouTube, youtube.com/naturallyunbridled, you can like and subscribe for more videos. All right, thanks. Peace out, peeps.